Have you ever seen a moth flying around a flame? It circles the light again and again. The heat burns its wings, yet it refuses to leave. The flame never chases the moth. The flame never traps it. The moth mistakes destruction for attraction. If it simply turned away, the night is wide open. Freedom was never taken from it. It only forgot that it could fly elsewhere. Now ask yourself, how different are we? We keep circling the same thoughts, the same fears, the same arguments, the same memories. We say life has trapped us. We say people have trapped us. We blame fate, karma, society, family, and even God. But what if the prison isn't outside? What if the prison is simply the direction in which we keep flying? Imagine standing before a mirror every day for 50 years. One morning, a crack appears across the glass. Would you panic and rush to repair your own face? Of course not. You know the crack belongs to the mirror, not to you. We spend our whole lives mistaking the mirror for ourselves. A thought appears, and we say, "That's me." An emotion appears, and we say, "That's me." The body changes with age, and we whisper, "I am growing old." The reflection keeps changing, but the one looking into the mirror never asks, "Who is it that sees all these changes?" The Ashtavakra Gita never declares that the world is your prison. It never blames your family, your career, or even your body. It points to something far more subtle. Suffering begins the moment the mind points to a passing reflection and says, "This is me. This is mine." Those two little words weave invisible chains. The prison is not built by the world. It is built by mistaken identity. Think about your life for a moment. How many times have you replayed the same conversation in your head? How many nights have you imagined different endings to situations that happened years ago? How many mornings have begun with worry about a future that hasn't even arrived? The event is over, but your mind continues to feed it. And then you say life is difficult. No, life moved on. Your memory didn't. Look carefully. A river never holds yesterday's water. Yet the mind carries yesterday's insult as if it happened 5 minutes ago. A tree does not mourn the leaves it dropped last autumn. Yet we carry disappointments from 10 years ago as if they define us today. Who is really suffering? The world? Or the one refusing to let go? Look at the sky for a moment. Storms pass through it. Clouds gather and disappear. Smoke rises into it. Birds cross it without asking permission. Yet when the storm is over, where's the scar upon the sky? There isn't one. The sky was never wounded. Notice that your real nature has never been stained by anything that has passed through it. Watch carefully. Everything you can point to is an event. A thought is an event. A memory is an event. Happiness is an event. Sorrow is an event. The beating of your heart is an event. The birth of the body is an event. The death of the body is an event. Events have beginnings. Events have endings. Now look for the one to whom all these events appear. Does that have a beginning? Can you find the moment it first came into existence? Can you imagine its disappearance without imagining yet another event appearing within it? This simple observation changes everything. Yet we rarely stop long enough to notice it. Instead, we spend our lives decorating the cage. One person decorates it with wealth. Another decorates it with relationships. Someone else decorates it with spirituality. One person wants more followers. Another wants more recognition. Someone wants to be remembered after death. Another wants enlightenment before death. The decorations are different. The cage is the same. This is why the sages laughed. Not because life is meaningless, but because we keep searching for freedom while carrying the lock in our own pocket. People often ask, how do I find peace? But perhaps the better question is, what is disturbing the peace that is already here? Watch a child playing by himself for a while. He isn't trying to become peaceful. He isn't trying to become successful. He isn't worried about yesterday or rehearsing tomorrow. He isn't asking whether life has meaning. He is simply immersed in the moment. Peace isn't something he has achieved. It is simply not being disturbed. Peace is natural until the mind begins collecting identities. My career, my reputation, my success, my failure, my spirituality. Notice how every sentence begins with my, each my becomes another weight. Self has no ownership. Ownership belongs only to thought. Before the thought appears, where is the burden? Imagine carrying a backpack filled with stones every day. After years, you forget you are carrying it. You complain that walking is exhausting. Someone tells you, take off the backpack. Instead of removing it, you argue about the stones. You organize them. You polish them. You compare them with other people's stones. Does any of that make the backpack lighter? This is exactly what we do with our psychological stories. We improve them. We defend them. We repeat them. We build entire identities around them. Then we wonder why peace feels so far away. Anger comes. Fear comes. Joy comes. Pain comes. They appear within awareness and disappear. But awareness itself remains untouched. If that is true, why spend your whole life chasing temporary clouds? People chase success thinking it will complete them. Then success arrives. For a few days, they celebrate. Soon another desire appears. Someone else spends years searching for love. Love arrives. Then fear of losing it begins. Another spends decades collecting wealth. Then anxiety about protecting it replaces the excitement of earning it. Can you see the pattern? The object changes. The restless mind remains the same. This is why external achievements never permanently solve an internal misunderstanding. None of this means you should stop living. The sages never taught laziness. They never said abandon responsibility. Work honestly. Love deeply. Help others. Raise a family if that is your path. Build a business if that is your path. But do not imagine that your identity depends upon any of it. A wave rises from the ocean. For a moment, it appears separate. Then it returns. Did the ocean gain anything? Did it lose anything? Our lives are like those waves. Beautiful, temporary, ever-changing. But the awareness in which they appear remains unchanged. That is your real nature. The greatest irony is that many people spend years searching for truth as though it were hidden somewhere far away. They travel from teacher to teacher, book to book, retreat to retreat, ashram to ashram, pilgrimage after pilgrimage. There is nothing wrong with learning. There is nothing wrong with teachers. But no teacher can hand you what has never been absent. A genuine teacher simply points you back toward yourself. The seeing must happen within you. No one else can do it for you. So the next time anxiety appears, don't immediately fight it. Ask a simple question. To whom has this anxiety appeared? When anger appears, ask the same question. Who knows this anger? When happiness appears, ask again. Who knows this happiness? Stay with the one who knows, not with what is known. Little by little, the grip begins to loosen. Truth has never been complicated. The mind makes it complicated because complexity gives the ego something to do. Reality asks for something much simpler. Just look. Look without judgment. Look without conclusions. Look before the mind begins telling its story. The freedom spoken of by the sages is not waiting after death. It is not reserved for monks. It is not hidden in caves. It is not locked inside ancient temples. It is available in this very moment, before the next thought claims ownership of experience. You do not have to become someone new. You do not have to manufacture enlightenment. You only have to stop mistaking passing clouds for the open sky. The flame never imprisoned the moth. The night was always available. The door has never been locked. Only the habit of flying in circles continues. See this clearly, even for a single moment, and something extraordinary begins to happen. The search becomes quieter. The burden becomes lighter. The stories lose their authority. And what remains is what has always remained. Silent, aware, complete, and untouched.